Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm William.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything tabletop role-playing games.
And today we were discussing time dragons.
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeoncast.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Will.
How you doing today?
You know, sometimes I run out of time to do things, but never running out of time to do this show.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the show takes priority.
That's right.
It comes first.
And we seldom miss episodes.
Very
ever.
seldom.
Ever.
There's been
Almost
maybe
never.
like twice.
Yeah. And if you guys have seen some bonus drops on the feed, it's because of advertisers.
They want more.
They want more.
They
so
want more. So
we
we're
gave
going to
you
share more with you guys.
Yeah. Well, we already did.
Yeah, we already did.
I don't know what it was.
You're
It
welcome.
was probably stuff from our Patreon.
Indeed.
Go to patreon.com/dungeoncast. This episode is actually brought to you by the patrons.
Indeed it is.
On patreon.com/dungeoncast. Thank you, patrons.
Patrons have voted and
Thank
we
you,
have heard.
patrons.
And
Thank
you,
you.
patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you so much. We have like hosting fee. Well, we don't really have hosting fees anymore, but we have business fees.
Indeed we do.
We've got stuff to pay.
Indeed
and
we do.
It's thanks to you guys that we're able to run the show in the way that we do and like accumulate enough money to pay those things, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you guys so much. In return, we try to give you guys bonus content, anything that we can muster up with our spare time. And polls for voting on topics for episodes are one of those things.
Indeed.
And here we have it.
Here we do.
Here we've got it. So
Yep.
Will, can you explain how the nomination and polling works on Patreon?
So every month what I do at the beginning of the month is I put out a thread to have the patrons go ahead and suggest topics. And usually anywhere from like 10 to 15 topics get suggested. And after a couple weeks, I will go through that list and I will select 4 of the topics to be voted on. My selection process is partly what I'm feeling like doing. Also, like if there's been repeat suggestions or suggestions that have been like hearted by multiple people, those will get higher priority than others. And then I leave it to a vote. Usually around like 80 to 100 people vote.
Cool.
And
Okay.
whoever wins or whichever topic wins gets the episode slot.
Yeah, so if you want to partake in that, I think patrons at all levels get access to that. It's tiered content, so if you want more content, there's stuff that if you're interested in, go check it out. You can be a part of that. So thank you to everyone once again who donates to Patreon. Really appreciate you. We're going to be shouting out all our new patrons at the end of the episode, but I think we should get into it.
Let's do it. So dragons in Dungeons and Dragons come in a lot of flavors. There are evil but colorful chromatic dragons, the neutral but dazzling and very, very psychic gemstone dragons, and of course there are the lawful do-gooder metallic dragons. But today, thanks to our wonderful patrons suggesting and voting on topics for us to talk about, we are talking about a very different kind of dragon, time dragon. That's right. These dragons breathe time.
It's always time for dragons at my table.
Indeed it is.
But now it's time for time dragons.
Time dragons can be found in 5e's most recent release pertaining to the Planescape setting, Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse, but have their origins going back to late 3.5 D&D in Dragon Magazine 359.
Hell yeah, Dragon Magazine.
There isn't a ton written about them, but what is written is pretty intriguing and quite impressively powerful. That being said, the 3.5 and 5e versions of Time Dragons are quite different from one another, with only a few shared characteristics. As such, I will be referring to them by their addition as we go over the lore. Though the stat block we will be going over this episode is, of course, the 5e version.
And I'll be doing that.
Indeed. So dragonkind as a whole has a unique relationship with time, growing ever more powerful while never sinking into dementia or bodily decay as a result of accumulation of years, centuries, or millennia. But one type of dragon interacts with time in a manner completely its own, breathing it, eating it, and living as part of it in such a way as to become a physical manifestation of time itself. This type of dragon, arguably the most rare and most powerful of all dragons, is the time dragon.
I would love my party wizard to be like, it's eating time. And it's like, no, we just rested. I ate a sandwich. No, that dragon, it's eating time.
Absolutely, yes. 3.5 D&D describes time dragons as a species of epic dragon, a group of exceedingly rare and powerful dragons. They are sometimes also referred to as chronology dragons, ageless dragons, or epoch dragons.
Chronology dragons is lame. That's a mouthful.
It is.
I don't want to ever say that.
then don't.
Maybe Chrono Dragons, though.
Chrono Dragons is
That's
cooler.
way better.
It's way
That's
better.
so much better.
It's a great improvement. 3.5's Time Dragon is described as having charcoal gray scales that lay close to its flesh and bear no ridges, giving the creature a smooth look. They have an hourglass-shaped mask of black scales surrounding their eyes. Think like Batman or Robin in like the animated series, or like Robin, you know how he's got the black band around it? It's like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. They have 12 unevenly spaced lines of black scales radiating back along its body like tree rings. A spike in the shape of a typical sundial extends from the back of its skull, effectively doubling the length of its head. Its triangular wings spread from their narrowest points at its back to give them an overall shape of an hourglass, and 2 spikes of different lengths protruding from the ends of its tails, giving it 2 tips.
They actually don't know what time it is unless they sundial it properly. They can't tell time at night, which is weird, but that's just how it goes.
So they really, in 3.5, they really lean into the time imagery. Hourglasses, you know, I feel like the lines are like the lines on a clock, right? Like,
yeah.
it's sundial on its head, like
it's got a Rolex on.
It's got a Rolex on. Like I skipped that sentence.
No,
They definitely have a Rolex on.
Yeah, they have a Rolex brand watch on.
5e, on the other hand, describes the Time Dragon quite differently. Time Dragon wormlings are born with shining silver scales and have horns that are barely more than nubs. As they master the flow of time, their horns grow into branching, almost antler-like shapes with rainbow-hued veins also branching out, suggestive of time's paths and possibilities. These iridescent veins also branch out along the membrane of the Time Dragon's wings. Their narrow snout has 2 long, distinct whiskers trailing in the air, the length of their neck, and defiant of any laws of gravity. And if you were to pull up images of both these dragons, 5e definitely wins the much cooler looking dragon contest.
Cool. Okay.
Any questions before we move on?
No, I'm formulating a new Dungeoncast character, like
great,
a time dragon wearing a Rolex watch and like Gucci loafers. I'm working on it.
Okay, it's a work in progress.
I'll think about that while you try to teach me.
You do that.
This time dragon.
5e does not have much to say about Time Dragon's personality or psyche, but 3.5 fills in the gaps a little bit, stating that epoch dragons are often aloof and solitary individuals, and they are typically neutral in regards to good or evil, law or chaos. Time dragons can live anywhere there is air for them to breathe and food for them to eat, and as dragons, they eat just about anything. Moreover, they can even go months without eating, though doing so makes them lethargic.
Okay.
This adaptability serves them well, though, for most time dragons are semi-nomadic and rarely stay in their lair for more than a few years.
Yeah, like how do you do the eating, you know? Like the Langoliers?
So, you know what's weird about Dragon Magazine 357, or 359, is it opens up stating that they eat time and then proceeds to never mention that again and just says they eat food. Weird.
Great.
Hey man, I present the information that I got, and this is the information I got.
Thanks a bunch again, Dragon Magazine, for being fucking obtuse about this randomly weird thing that should be specific.
I they just have a bunch of abilities that manipulate time. That's like when we're talking about actual mechanics, and that is both 3.5 and 5e. They have different mechanics, but they both just manipulate the shit out of time, and they also affect time by just existing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
But as for the act of eating time, it is mentioned and then is never mentioned again.
Great. Side note on that side note, I hope we get to talk about Terminator in this episode.
I mean,
I just did, but like
I welcome it. I welcome
Yeah.
it. So, time dragons often lair in the ruins of ancient civilizations or temples to dead gods and do their utmost to preserve these historical sites. A time dragon's insatiable desire for knowledge means it's likely to have more than one such lair. They do not have a society as such, spending their lives largely in solitude. But once every millennium, a group of 4 to 10 time dragons will congregate for the purposes of reproduction. As soon as all the females in the group have conceived, they depart from each other. Very businesslike.
Yeah. I was picturing businessmen. Like they polymorph into Wall Street.
You know, they're all checking their Rolexes.
Yeah, like they polymorph into like Jonah Hill and fucking what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio and all those other guys.
You know, I've never seen that movie. Have you seen that movie?
No,
Wall Street? I haven't
haven't.
seen that movie. I just see the memes. Unlike many other species, time dragons do not put much effort into their hordes and often abandon and rebuild their hordes several times over the course of their lifetime.
That's different.
It is different. As with other epic dragons, what they do hoard tends to be less coin and more lore, magic, and exquisite art. Specifically, time dragons prize historical records, objects representative of lost cultures, and treasures from long-gone creators. They are fascinated by time manipulation, magic, and forgotten knowledge. Those who stumble upon a time dragon's hoard might find invaluable historical information from eras past. It is also said that they most prize and zealously guard any device in their hoard that measures time, from simple sundials to complex water clocks.
Oh, so they are obsessed with the specific.
They have just a mountain of Rolexes.
They have all those, like, there's like grandfather clocks, like disassembled on like a blanket.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the blanket has like a big clock on it, you know, like stitched in.
Yeah. You know, as a side note, every clock is, to my son, a cuckoo clock. It doesn't matter if it's a cuckoo clock or not. It's a cuckoo clock.
Oh.
Any clock, any watch, he cuckoo clock.
I think a time dragon would fucking try to fight your son.
He might. He might.
No, it's not. It's a Rolex. How many times can we say Rolex in this episode without being sponsored by them?
Countless.
Come at us, Rolex. It's time for you to sponsor the Dungeoncast.
I don't like Rolexes.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
You ruined it.
I did. I'm sorry.
You ruined our potential
really
sponsorship with Rolex.
Blew it. Sorry.
Damn it.
Only disasters and other creatures can kill time dragons. The passage of time itself cannot. As such, they are the only truly immortal, non-deific dragons. Because of their unique ties to the time stream, time dragons age randomly. Knowing the age category of a time dragon does not therefore give an accurate estimation of its age.
Okay, that's
weird.
We're getting in the weeds. This episode's gonna get in the weeds. I knew it.
Time dragons harness the power of time to manipulate the past, present, and future. Ancient time dragons can create temporal gates connected to specific times and places in the multiverse. Using these, they and allied creatures can travel anywhere in time to affect fate-determining moments or to banish threats beyond the flow of time. As a result of their ability to travel between ages, time dragons often seem unstuck from the usual flow of time and have a flexible view of what is, what was, and what will be.
Okay, so they're insane.
They're not insane. They just like for you and me, time only moves in one direction at one pace, right? For them, time is a stream that can go up, down, all around, dip in the pool, jump back out, like
slide to the left,
slide to the left, slide to the right,
crisscross.
Hey, Macarena.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. It's hard to conceptualize that.
Sure. But I mean, just imagine that you could like choose, you can choose to go to that Del Taco with a sinkhole. They can choose
from last episode
to go to that Del Taco before that sinkhole ever existed.
I hope I didn't cut that out.
I
now I think I have to leave it.
I hope you left it in too.
Check out last week's episode where I talk about I wouldn't call it like a, it's a legitimate fear of sinkholes.
Absolutely.
It's not like
apparently they riddle your life.
They're around, bro. Like, they're just around. I've got 2 in my locality, so yeah.
Yeah.
The time dragon would be like, the sinkhole has always and never been there.
Exactly.
Because one time it wasn't.
Yeah,
but now it is and never was or will be. See, this NPC would just be confused in my game. Like, they're not confused. They just sound confused.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, like, they're insane.
Yeah. Well, I think it's hard for them to talk about, like, okay, since we're on the sinkhole, like when we're talking to the time dragon, like it doesn't know your reference to the sinkhole, so it's like the sinkhole that hasn't happened yet, or the sinkhole that will happen, or the sinkhole
you mean the one you fall into? Yeah. I mean, fell into? I mean, oh shit.
Sorry,
I've said too much.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me eat this watch.
And that's how they eat time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they hoard these timepieces, because it's lunch.
Indeed. So like other species of dragons, time dragons speak the draconic language and possess blind sense, low light vision, and dark vision. 3.5 time dragons had 2 breath attacks, a line of ravaging time that aged creatures and objects struck by it, which I wish they kept that because that shit's hilarious and awesome.
That is terrifying.
And a cone of time expulsion that makes creatures caught within it disappear for some seconds, even minutes before reappearing. Spoiler alert, 5e versions don't have either of those breath attacks. They have a different one.
That would be fucking hilarious if they turned off your rage.
That would be really cool.
That would be fucking funny. Like any timed ability, like they just sent you into the future 1 minute and now you're not mad anymore.
Damn, that'd be brutal. I love that. That's great. 3.5, time dragons also possessed innate spellcasting abilities where they could cast time stop at will, even as wormlings, and slow 3 times each day as juveniles and older. Even more deadly, 3.5's version of time dragons hatched with an innate ability to control time and can accelerate their own actions as if under the haste effect for up to a minute each day, and an ability that additionally rendered them immune to slow and similar effects.
Slow is just a crazy good spell.
Yeah,
I love that spell.
If you can get it to hit.
Right.
It's great.
The save is multi fails on that save is very good for you, the caster.
As they age, this faculty with time only increases. A very young time dragon gains the ability to, again, these are 3.5 rules, ability to once each day borrow time from the future to further accelerate their actions. An old time dragon can do this twice a day.
Okay, hang on. I borrowed time from the future. Then I live out a linear path to that time. And then I get there. What do I see?
I don't know, man. I'm not a time dragon.
Do I show up from the past and punch myself in the face and just like grab a scoop of your memories? Or like, what the fuck?
It says they borrow time from the future. It doesn't say they borrow their own time from the future.
Well, whose time is it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, fucking me neither. What's going on? This is weird. Time dragons are weird. Talking about time is a messy, messy thing.
Adult and older epoch dragons operate as if under the effects of haste continuously rather than just for a minute, an ability they cannot suppress and which cannot be dispelled for long.
Okay.
Ancient time dragons develop an aura of slow up to 50 feet.
That's 15 meters
in radius that they can emanate for a full minute, and great worms are rumored to be able to move forwards and backwards through time with some preparation. Again, I iterate, this is 3.5 edition time dragons. We're going to go over the stat block of 5e1s shortly. A lot of these abilities are reflected in the 5e version of time dragons in their stat block, but also in their lair actions, legendary actions, and regional effects. Time dragons are not prone to violence. They often feel they have better things to do than fight, thus using all of their abilities to disable their enemy or end combat as quickly as possible, and are willing to flee rather than fight if necessary. Often they start with their most powerful spells and then fall back on their breath weapon to weaken those who survive the initial onslaught. They rely on their time stop ability to move around the battlefield quickly.
Yeah, because the only way you can die is in combat.
Yeah,
basically.
so why ever engage? This is what, we've talked about this. It's been a long time, but we talk about this when it comes to the demon lords, how like they're immortal, they have all this power, they do all this stuff, but they won't fight each other most of the time because that's the one way they can die.
Yeah, like,
so why risk it?
So that's why they have all these machinations and plans
Indeed.
and shit.
Yes,
but
exactly.
time dragons are just looking for fucking pocket watches and shit. They're literally polymorphing to steal your pocket watch. They're just rogues, actually.
No significant number of time dragons live on Toril, Forgotten Realms. In fact, they seem to shun the realms for unknown reasons. I could think of a few.
Can you tell me what a significant number of time dragons would be? 5?
More than 1.
So
I mean, it's got to be a significant number of these guys. 3.
It's got to be between 2 and 7. That's an insignificant number because one time dragon is like, we need the one time the most significant dragon we need for this adventure controls time. We need its help. That makes it significant. But I think between 2 and 7, there's like just enough. You don't really know where they are or when they are and whose watches they're stealing / eating.
I would say any more than 2 is a significant number of time dragons. That's that's how I feel about it.
Pirates missing an arm, sword battle. Wizards missing an arm, time dragon 8 your arm to eat your watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have been briefly studied by mages to investigate the effects on their presence on gates, mythals, wards, and certain other long-term enchantments. Said effects were uniformly disastrous, making the enchantments unstable and sometimes triggering built-in reactions meant to respond to certain events that hadn't occurred yet. So they have this temporal time shit that just fucks with anything that is like set to respond at certain intervals of time.
What's that fucking Tom Cruise movie? Minority Report. They're minority reporting in their lore. That's fucking sick.
I guess so, yeah. These effects are unintentional by the time dragons and due solely to their mere proximity.
Okay.
That's all I got on Time Dragons. So let's take a short rest before we take a look at that stat block.
It's the grand adventures of Ilan and Beon. Jeez, do you ever think we're going to stop flying?
It's actually really impressive how far we've been flung.
That thing was huge. What was that?
I believe it was Ogremok.
What?
The evil elemental prince of evil Earth.
Well, that's weird. Why would we encounter that?
I mean, we were in a quite rocky terrain. It's quite possible there was a convergence of the planes.
So we were going the wrong way.
You know, I've noticed as we've been collecting these shards, they seem to either be attracted to or the cause of these planar interlappings. Because we've been all over the cosmos, and I swear, like, that should be a way more rare occurrence.
The most random stuff happens to us, and it seems to be related. Like, do you think it's related to anything specifically? I just don't understand. You know,
I mean, who's to say? But I'm beginning to suspect the shards are thinning the veil of the multiverse.
I think.
Hey, oh my God!
Speaking of shards,
look at this.
There's one right there.
There's a shard just flying right next to us. What is this?
That's amazing.
Well, I'll just snag that.
Yeah, no magic required to grab that out of the air, huh?
That pushes us up to 5.
Wow, that's really good. You think it'll fuse to the chunk we have?
It does feel like a significant number. What? Wait, there's another one.
Oh, there! Oh my God!
I'll grab that one too.
No, it's closer to me. I'll grab it.
Okay, you go ahead.
I got this one. Here you go, though. I'll give it to you.
Who'd have thunk it?
Wow. Hey, do you think we're gonna
They're just falling into our laps now?
Do you think when we fall back to our inevitable, like, Earth material place that we're gonna fucking die?
No, Ben, I'm a wizard.
Maybe we should, you know, there have been some, historically speaking, in our travels together, I've only seen you cast spells for sponsorships. Like, I know you
What
can
can
do
I say? I know my worth, Ben.
I know. You've told me over and over again, and I'm just saying, like, right now you're saying we have magic to do something about this, but whose magic is it? Are you gonna, like, call somebody? Does that require a spell slot?
I have multiple options, and I could use a magic item. I could burn one of my slots, perhaps.
Will you? Here's the thing. Fall damage is real. And I know a thing or two about it, and my heavy armor, it does not deal with fall damage very well.
No, I imagine it wouldn't.
It's not a thing about AC.
Quite frankly, as far as we've been flung, like, we could be talking 100 plus D6 of bludgeon damage.
It feels like we're on the horizontal trajectory, but I know it's like an arch, right? Like, eventually we're going to go back to it feels like we've been horizontal for a while.
That which goes up must, in fact, come down.
Yeah, and it's just nothing but clouds and shards up here, I guess, and I'm keeping an eye out, but I think those are going to be the only two for this one. But what do you think that means for what we can do now?
You know,
in terms of, like, our patronage and support.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. What time is it, actually? Do you know?
Let me check my Rolex.
We've returned.
Indeed we have.
We're fucking back.
Indeed we are.
Back at it again.
Always.
Shit, it's time.
We never stop.
It's time to do more Dungeoncasts. Or is it? Or was it? Or will it be? Yes.
Can I drink my water?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Ilan and Beon happened, and you probably heard about it. It was probably fucking as convoluted as this episode.
Oh, God.
So if you want to support Ilan and Beon and William and Brian, who are their mortal realm counterparts, or Earth realm counterparts, what do we call this Earth? Is this Earth 69?
This is our prime material plane.
This is prime material number 69. It has to be.
Sure.
It has to be. You can do so at patreon.com/Dungeoncast. This is a patron voted topic episode. Thank you, patrons. We really appreciate you. The show and the capacity in which we make it today would not be possible without you. You are our rock, our island, our zone of truth. We love you so much, and we really appreciate your help. Like I said, go to patreon.com/Dungeoncast if you want all those things that I just said to apply to you. And you can't just go there to get the compliments. You have to do the patron thing, like get early access.
I got to take this call. Sorry.
Oh, yep. Will's back from his phone call. We're back.
Hey, it was an important phone call.
Yeah, it was. And we stopped time in the recording for it.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Like Time Dragons ourselves.
Yeah, I hit pause on recording active tracks, and they stopped.
It's incredible.
And then I did an edit, and it resumed right there. But we did include the phone call bit because you did take the call while I was talking, which is very hard to edit out. So I'm just going to leave it.
Very sorry.
It's okay. Well, it's got important stuff going on, and that's fine.
Indeed.
So we were talking about patrons and how lucky we are to have them.
Yeah, and we are.
Thankful.
And we are.
And,
absolutely.
We are very blessed by you, the listener. Now, let's talk about Ancient Time Dragons.
Yes.
The biggest and baddest of them.
Absolutely.
With very cool art. The Planescape, A+ on the Planescape art, whoever did that.
Yeah, it looks great.
Gargantuan dragons, they're typically neutral, but they don't have to be because this is your world.
Specifically the ancient ones, Gargantuan.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck everybody else. If they want it, you want it to be evil, like, I don't know, is time evil?
Dude, an evil time dragon is a scary thought, honest to God.
Yeah. Armor class is 22, natty.
Very nice.
HP is 536, or 29 d20 plus 232.
I think that's exactly the same amount of HP as Ogremok. Yeah.
10 more, actually.
10 more.
I think
shit.
Ogremok had 526.
Well, I'll pull it up while you continue reading.
Please do. Correct me if I'm wrong. Speed is 40 feet, climbing speed of 40 feet, and flying speed of 80 feet. So it's faster than Ogremok.
You were right. It is exactly 10 HP above Ogremok.
Ooh, big brain plays. That's Brian Galaxy Brain in it. Time Brain. Let's go. I traveled back to last week in my brain.
Indeed.
It's like a time dragon do. Strength plus 9. Dexterity plus 2. Con plus 8. Intelligence plus 8. Wisdom plus 4. Charisma plus 6. Just like Ogremok.
If you had asked me, I wouldn't have chosen strength as their highest ability for a time dragon.
They are a dragon.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they are a dragon. It's just, I would have, time dragon, I just would have assumed wisdom or intelligence would have been their highest.
Probably intelligence.
Yeah, but it's not.
Nope.
It's the muscles.
Not. It's their brain muscle is one less good than their physical, like they don't have biceps because they don't have arms.
They definitely have biceps. They absolutely have biceps. They do have arms. They have front arms with biceps.
Do you walk on your arms, Will?
It's still a bicep.
Is it a leg?
I'm telling you that's a bicep.
It's a quad.
It's not a quad.
It's a hamstring.
No, it is a bicep because their front legs have elbows.
Okay. They do, yeah. Okay. I can't wait. Somebody get into the YouTube comments on this one. Have a debate about that.
Dragons definitely have biceps and triceps.
Tell Brian he's wrong, or tell Will he's wrong. Whatever, dude. It doesn't matter to me. Saving throws: Dex plus 10, Con plus 16, Wisdom plus 12, Charisma plus 14. Skills: Arcana plus 16, History plus 24.
They know that history.
I mean, yeah, they're probably confused about it, but they know it.
They definitely have expertise because that shit is super boosted.
Perception plus 20 and Stealth plus 18 because they can stealth through time. Senses: Blind Sight 60 feet, Dark Vision 120 feet. Surprise, surprise. Passive Perception 30. 30? 30. That might be the first 30 I've ever read on a stat block.
Passive 30. Okay. Well, yeah, they have a plus 20 to perception.
They see all without trying.
Do they must have expertise on this one too. Yeah, they do.
Well, they just knew they do. They knew the thing would be there because they saw it in the past.
Yeah,
future.
no, I think it's a nice touch for sure. But yeah, you're not sneaking past these motherfuckers.
They know all the languages.
And they have true sight, so yeah.
They're the embodiment of 5e stats. They have every language, dark vision for a while, 120 feet.
All. That is very impressive.
That's a 5e sentence. Yeah. Just all.
Okay. I'm going to go look at like a young time dragon while you're doing this. I just want to see if any of that is different.
Where do you find those?
On D&D Beyond.
Oh. Challenge rating 26. That's 90,000 experience points. Proficiency bonus plus 8. They have an ability called Cycle of Rebirth. If the dragon dies, its soul coalesces into a steely egg and teleports to a random plane of existence. Wow, that's a bummer. The egg is immune to all damage.
Okay, so get this. They learn more languages as they get older. Makes sense. Young time dragon knows Draconic plus any 4 languages.
Okay.
Adult, it's probably plus.
So just 5 languages off the boot. Welcome to 5th
No, that's
edition.
young. That's not Wormling. I'll pull up Wormling.
Okay.
Wormlings know Draconic plus 2 languages.
It's pretty good. I'm a baby. I speak 3 languages.
Hell yeah. All right, continue, please.
Eggs immune to all damage and hatches into a time dragon wormling after 1d100 years. The dragon retains all memories and knowledge it gained in its previous life. So, old babies have all languages.
Yep, old babies have all languages. So this thing can't die. Because cycle of rebirth, if the dragon dies, its soul coalesces into a steely egg. So
I mean, it does die. It does die.
Okay, yeah, but it can't permanently die. They're truly immortal.
Yeah, no, because they die. They died, and then they became a new dragon that has old memories. That doesn't make you the old you necessarily.
I guess that's true.
You're going to be a similar person. You're going to be a lot like the old you.
It's like we cloned you.
Maybe.
Is the clone you? Well,
I don't know. You ever clone anything?
I've never cloned anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Continue, please.
Legendary resistances. They get 5 of those motherfuckers a day. If the dragon fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. That's a lot. It's usually 3. Multi-attack. The dragon makes 3 rend attacks. Rend is a melee weapon attack. Plus 17 to hit. Reach of 15 feet, just like Ogre Mock. 1 target. Hit's going to be 22 or 3d8 plus 9 slashing damage plus 10. 3d6 force damage. In case you guys are wondering why I keep referencing an Archamental in this episode. It's because last week we just did one about stat blocks are
20 minutes ago.
Shockingly similar. Time breath, recharge, 5 to 6. The dragon exhales a bunch of gears, wood, watch pieces.
No.
It vomits its lunch. The dragon exhales a wave of shimmering light in a 90-foot cone. Non-magical objects and vegetation in the area that aren't being worn or carried crumble to dust. That's a cool descriptor. Each creature in the area must make a DC 24 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 52 or 8d12 force damage and is magically weakened as it is desynchronized from the time stream.
Dun, dun, dun.
God, I hate it when that happens.
It's a bitch.
That actually happened on one of our YouTube videos recently. It got desynchronized from the time stream.
Oh, I know. I had to redo the whole video.
Yeah, I've done that before. It happens. Will does the video editing now. While the creature is in this state, attack rolls against it have advantage. It has the poison condition. Who cares? And other creatures.
It's actually
it's actually really
bad
if you actually do get poisoned. And other creatures. Oh, it actually will double the time of your fight too, which is really funny. Maybe that's a play on mechanics.
Honestly, half the conditions will do exactly that because they impose disadvantage. So
yep. And other creatures have resistance to all damage it deals. That's a bummer. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage only. A weakened creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself after it succeeds on 3 of these saves. You have to succeed it 3 times? Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. So don't get me wrong, this breath attack is quite brutal, but I really hate that they didn't have the balls to just make it age you because that shit is hilarious and brutal.
Well, I'm not done yet. Maybe there's some stuff happening in the reactions here, but we have Time Gate once a day as the last action. The dragon conjures a 20-foot diameter circular portal in the space between its horns or in an unoccupied space it can see within 30 feet of itself. The portal links to a precise location on any plane of existence at any point in time up to 8,000 years from the present, whether past or future.
Hell
Dear
yeah.
God, this is a DM mountain.
I fucking love this thing.
The portal lasts for 24 hours or until the dragon's concentration ends, as if concentrating on a spell. The portal has a front, a back, on each plane where it appears. Travel through the portal is possible only by moving through its front. Anything that does so is transported to the destination, appearing in an unoccupied space nearest to the portal. Deities and other planar rulers can prevent portals created by the dragon from opening in the ruler's presence or anywhere within their domains. They feel it in their bones or whatever and say, fuck that.
Yeah.
Reactions. The dragon can take up to 3 of these per turn, but only once per turn. Reactive rend. After using legendary resistance or in response to being hit by an attack roll, the dragon makes 1 rend attack. Slow time. Immediately after a creature the dragon can see ends its turn. The dragon targets a creature and it can see within 90 feet of itself that is weakened by its time breath. Until the weakened effect ends on the target, its speed becomes 0 and its speed can't increase.
Okay.
And then time slip. The dragon halves the damage it takes from the unattack made against it, provided it can see the attacker. The dragon can then immediately teleport along with any equipment it is wearing or carrying up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space it can see.
So that's actually brutal because that compacts with the time breath. So if you're weak by the time breath, you're already dealing half damage, and then you can have it again with the time slip. And that only takes one reaction. It gets 3 reactions per round. So, we're moving away from legendary reactions, huh? And we're just doing multiple reactions.
Just multiple reactions.
That's interesting.
That is strange.
We'll be looking for so some of these changes are preemptive to what's going to be rolling out with the new
1D&D.
Yeah, it's 5.5. It is almost literally 5.5, which is fine to me. I know a lot of people are upset about it, and that's also understandable. I'm ambivalent to it. I kind of expect it. It's just what D&D has always done, and honestly, we got way more time with 5e than any other edition ever.
Yeah.
So,
but when the change happens, it's going to be met with
and also will, from what I see, it looks like it will just be backwards compatible the same way 3.5 was, so that's fine with me. But we're seeing things like this. We're also seeing backgrounds now are giving feats.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing a lot more half feats that give additions to ability scores. And we're also seeing a lot more level 4 feats. So you can take this feat if you have the feat before that you need for it, like the starting feat at level 1, and then you're also level 4.
Upgrade your feat.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those moving forward.
All right. A time dragon's I'm reading lair actions, right?
Yes, please.
Time Dragon's Lair. On initiative count 20, I guess I should read the little flavor. Time Dragons often lair in the ruins, or do I need to read that?
You don't need to, but you could if you want to.
The Time Dragons often lair in the ruins of ancient civilizations or temples to dead gods, and to do their utmost to preserve these historical sites. That's a lot like Gem Dragons are doing something like that, right?
There's quite a few dragons that are interested in historical stuff.
Brass.
Yeah. There are both metallic and gem dragons that like that stuff.
A Time Dragon's insatiable desire for knowledge means it's likely to have more than one such lair. The challenge rating of an ancient or adult time dragon increases by 1 when it's encountered in its lair. Well, that's a cool little note to make. On initiative count 20, losing initiative ties, the dragon can take one of the following lair actions. The ancient or adult dragon can't take the same lair action 2 rounds in a row. The first one is Temporal Fling. A dragon attempts to fling a creature it can see within 60 feet of itself forward through time. The target must succeed on a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw or take 26 or 4d12 psychic damage and move 1 round forward in time. A target moved forward in time vanishes for the duration. When the effect ends, the target reappears in the same space it left or in an unoccupied space nearest to that space if it is occupied. Temporal Lag. The dragon slows time for each creature within 60 feet of itself. Until initiative count 20 of the next round, the effective creature can move or take an action on its turn, not both. The creature also can't take a reaction or a bonus action.
There's no save. That just happens.
It just happens.
That's pretty brutal. I like that.
It's only worth 1 challenge rating point, though. Timeline divergence. The dragon chooses a space it can fit into within its lair. The dragon exists simultaneously in its space and the chosen space until initiative count 20 on the next round. Whenever it moves or takes an action, the dragon chooses which version is moving or acting. If an effect or attack can target both the dragon spaces at the same time, the dragon is affected only once. That's weird.
Let's see.
Weird. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's doubling its range of effect and also doubling its range of affectability.
So the character I'm about to run for your game, he's eventually going to get the fighter subclass Echo Knight. And one of the thing about the Echo Knight is it can create an echo of itself. And like, yeah, you could just
basically that.
Yeah, it's basically this, except for that you can kill the echo because it only has 1 HP, and then I'm forced to make another one. But I can make attacks through it or cast spells through it as if it is me, and I can move it as if it is me.
That's neato. Yeah. That's a sound thing, not a time thing. I guess echoes sound in time.
And I'm also reflavoring it as like a dark shadow version of itself, like Dark Link.
Oh, that's fun.
Like here's Leon, here's Dark Leon.
You got to check out the Terminal Montage, the Water Temple video that just came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Regional effects. The region surrounding an ancient or adult time dragon's lair is altered by the dragon's magic, creating one or more of the following effects. Time dilations. Time fluctuates within 3 miles of the lair. Short rests taken within this area take 10 minutes or 2 hours. Your choice. Ooh. I guess they mean the DM's choice. Timeless. So you're experiencing... what is it? An hour short rest? Typically?
Yeah, currently. I wonder if they're going to change that to 10 minutes.
Yeah. There's optional rules to change it to 10 minutes, like hero points. So you're experiencing 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, an hour, but 10 minutes might only pass, or 2 hours might only pass,
right?
Or it might be double. That's you guys get it. You fucking get it. Timelessness, beasts, humanoids, and plants within 3 miles of the lair. Age only 1 year for every 10 years that pass.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Huh. The infinity squirrels.
That's a feature you get as I think a druid and a monk in your level 20 feature part of it.
Yeah, you live forever.
Yeah, you age only 1 year for every 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty cool.
If the dragon dies, these effects fade over the course of 1d10 days. Every time I read, this just reminded me of the horny fish lake.
I forgot about that.
They're still horny 1d10 days later after the dragon dies.
Absolutely they are.
Or leaves.
Okay, Ancient Time Dragon. I like the stat block. I like stat blocks with bite. This one has a lot of bite. Stat blocks need bite. As someone who's been running 5e for like, oh shit, I've been running 5e for like 10 years now. 5e stat blocks, the official ones, don't have enough bite. Characters are really powerful. Player characters are very powerful, and stat blocks need more bite. So yeah, I like this one.
Player characters are powerful, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that too.
There are several of them.
Yeah, anywhere from, I suppose, 2 to 6 or 7, or maybe 8 if you're critical role.
Oh, Jesus. I'd never want to run an 8-player campaign.
I don't even like I don't like running 5-player campaigns.
That is hard, but doable.
I'm running one now, and it's fine. But
I did a 6, I think, once, and it was... that's a handful. It takes forever. You got to really plan to make things happen. Oh, Jesus. We have a lot of patrons to shout out.
Sweet. Do we want to get to it? Is it long rest time?
Yeah, sorry. I was getting prepped, and I was just like, I'm still scrolling. Thank you, guys. Okay, yes, it is long rest time. Let's do it.
All right, let's take a long rest.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the long rest. Oh, where's my slippies? They're over here and over there. And they're both old and new and very present time as well.
And mine can't die.
I tried to kill Will's slippies in the break, and I kept on stabbing them, but nope. They just turned into new small slippies with the same amount of languages they knew in life before. Thank you, patrons, so much. Have I said that this episode?
I believe you have.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it again. Fucking thank you, guys. We got new patrons up in the chute, coming out the chute. Here we go. Will, you ready?
I'm ready.
We got Brooks Marshall.
Thank you, Brooks.
Thank you, Brooks Marshall. Jake Off World Champion.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Tyler Lemon.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. Lock Dannon.
Thank you, Lock Dannon.
Thank you, Lock Dannon. Woo! Woo! That's an upgrade woo.
Ooh.
Knitted Chouse.
Thank you, Knitted Chaos.
Okay. Woo! Woo! Shy Ken.
Thank you, Shy Ken.
Thank you, Shy. Hang on. What do I do for him? Oh, that's this is a patron of A Tear in Space.
Ooh.
That was you, right? You have to do a tear.
A Tear in Space.
Oh, that was good. Cade5933.
Thank you, Cade5933.
Annual subscriber.
Annual subscriber.
Oh, fuck. They're not an annual subscriber.
The fuck?
That's their... Oh, shit. Whale tier, baby.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Wait. Oh, you get it all. Fuck it. You're not annual, but you get the horns.
Those are fireworks.
Yeah. Oh, but you do get a... And some fireworks. Thanks, kid.
Thank you.
Here we go. That's why I got confused. Annual subscriber Nathan.
Annual subscriber. Thank you, Nathan.
Frank Thames.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank. Is it Thames? Thames?
It's probably Thames.
Tames? Like Tom?
It might be Thames.
Tames. Ryan Wright.
Thank you, Ryan.
Annual subscriber Ryan. Wow, big annual subscription.
Annual subscriber.
Ryan Wright, thank you. It's W. It's Ryan W. Wright. You know, like
nice.
that.
Like
yeah.
the Wright brothers. Yes.
Yes. Thomas Waldrop.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks, Thomas. Ashatar.
Thank you, Ashatar.
Thank you, Ashatar. Holy shit, it's Walupoff.
Thank you, Walupoff.
Annual subscriber Walupoff.
Annual subscriber.
Isaac Lepley.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you, Isaac. And now we got 3 annual subscribers coming up in a row. We got Derek Monderman.
Thank you, Derek.
We got Moa.
Thank you, Moa.
And Chris H.
Thank you, Chris.
Say the thing.
Annual subscribers.
All right. We got Jay Graham.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Zer.
Thank you, Zer.
Or maybe it's Zer.
Thank you, Zer.
Thank you, Zer. William McCracken.
Thank you, William.
Woo. Woo. What's McCracken, dude? I got a McName at the end of my first name, too.
You do.
Yeah. What's up, dude? R.W. Hellborn.
Thank you, R.W. Hellborn.
They've upgraded to a tier in space.
A tier in space.
David Turnip Seed.
Thank you, David.
Is an annual subscriber, David Turnip Seed.
Annual subscriber.
This is more of like electronic horn now.
Yeah, it's good. It's getting kind of
It's like
crazy.
EDM style beat drop horn. Let's see here. We got Sean McDonnell.
Thank you, Sean.
They're a member of a tier in space.
A tier in space. I
love it.
I'll get a little Matt Damon on
Matt.
A tier in space. Sorry. I'll try to tighten it up.
Do they have access to Matt Damon? I think they might need a couple more dollars to get Matt Damon access.
You gotta pay a little more. You want the Matt Damon treatment.
Let me hit us up if you know about Matt Damon from our Patreon actual plays. Okay, we got Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
No, wait, where the fuck am I? Sorry, I skipped. We got a lot, dude.
Okay. It's all good.
Who did I just say? Sean McDonnell?
You did say
that was okay. We got Bugberry.
Thank you, Bugberry.
Thanks, Bugberry. We got Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. We got Meteor 13, annual subscriber.
Annual subscriber.
It's crazy horns. We got Zaya.
Thank you, Zaya.
Or is it Zia?
Thank you, Zia.
Anyway, they're upgrading to a tier. This is it's a very appreciated, but in between the tier number.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So I guess
Thank
we
you.
just woo again. Yeah. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna air it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Eris Jared.
Thank you, Eris Jared.
Thanks, Eris Jared. Did I just say? Yeah, no. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
You know Kevin.
I know Kevin.
He's our patron, Kevin.
Indeed.
Woo. Well, he is now. Now you know him.
Now I know.
James Evans.
Thank you, James.
Woo. Woo. We got oh wow. Nick Cuevers.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm sorry I didn't say your last name right. I know I didn't say it right.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Nick Cuevers.
Oh. It could be Kivers.
Nick Kivers. Cuivers.
Cuvers?
Quavers. Oh, man. Anyway. Brr, 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 brr.
Brr, 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 brr.
We'll do brr, brr, brr twice for this one.
Brr, 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 brr. Sorry.
Dan Goro.
Thank you, Dangoro.
Thank you, Dan Goro. Owen Carney.
Thank you, Owen.
Woo.
Woo.
Christian Leva Lopez.
Thank you, Christian.
They're a member of A Tear in Space.
A Tear in Space. Yeah, no, I'm going Mad Demon with that. It's just happening. It's just happening.
Andrew W.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew W. Annual subscriber, Andrew W.
Annual subscriber.
That's it.
Thank you, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that show.
That was that's the longest list we've gotten in a while.
In a bit. Thank you, guys. Super appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. It means the world to us. It really does. And it means the world to Ilan and Beon, because with your support, they can continue to search for the shards of substantial supporters in order to reassemble the
Pendant of Plenteous
patrons and to fight the two warlocks, Grimly and Gromly, who are also trying to gather them in the name of Demogorgon. So someone's going to get fucking ups.
Indeed.
Big ups.
Indeed.
But it's actually just us, because that's all fantasy shit. So thank you for helping us pay for our show fees and live our lives and upgrade the studio and do all. We've done so much cool stuff with the constant backing of our patrons, and there's no one I really appreciate more in terms of the show aside from like our team.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for being a part of the squad. And here's us, but something we've recorded already. Will, we got merch shop news.
We do got some awesome merch shop news.
Yeah, there you go. BabaYagasYardSale.com. You can find bespoke TDC merch that is custom made, like a Don't Fart in the Underdark shirt, Bahamut's Gym, and there's some brand new gelatinous cube slime slippies that you can rock. Go to BabaYagasYardSale.com and check that out. It's very cool. We just looked at it right now. It was awesome.
Link is in the description.
Link's down there. Go get it. You can also find us on social media. Will, where can they find us?
You can find us on Discord. I think that's the #1 spot. Link, or I should say invite, is in the description.
The Dungeoncast Discord. Great community. Great moderators.
Roughly 2,000 fans of the Dungeoncast in their awesome Dungeoncast community where we just talk about D&D and stuff. It's really cool. And the mods are great. Like
Fuck
Brian
Papa
said.
John's. Actually,
you can also find us on Instagram, on Twitter, X, and on Threads, and also on Mastodon. Links are all in the description. Yeah,
if you want to talk to us, Discord is a great place to do it. We typically are getting around to that in mostly real time, as is how Discord works. But you can also send an email or physical mail to us. Our email address is thedungeoncast@gmail.com. It's also listed in the description below, and our P.O. box address is down there as well. Also leave a like, subscribe on YouTube, and if you comment on our videos, we might read the comments for like the whole everything on that video on the show in our audience interaction portion.
Indeed.
And thank you guys. Thank everybody for all the Draken stars. Thank you guys.
The orders, yeah, absolutely. Thank you everyone for supporting Star Seeker's Guide to Draken Star. I'm actually working on the final chapter. I'm hoping to have that done within the month, and so my hope is to have the digital version of this book to you guys latest by August. That is my absolute hope. I'm working real hard on it, and I'm very excited to get this thing done.
Yeah, so end of summer, hopefully that'll be it. It's been a huge project. Will's done so much stuff for it. We're really proud of him for taking all this on and getting that out. So thank you for everyone for your support on that, and thank you everyone for your continued support on patreon.com/thedungeoncast. That's the best way you can support the show. It helps pay our whatever fees that we incur, which we have. Trust me. It costs money to operate the show the way we do and to do all the things that we do. And if you become a patron on patreon.com/thedungeoncast, you get a ton of bonus content. There are Will's show notes, early ad-free episodes as early as I can get them to you, Ilan and Beon specific content. If you're a fan of Ilan and Beon, you can check out all of their skits that we've recorded so far that I've uploaded there, including an exclusive tier called A Tear in Space that we've dubbed it. It's Ilan and Beon's personal lounge where they have candid conversations about worlds outside of their own, and exclusively that. They don't talk about in-world stuff in the Tier in Space typically. There's also tons of actual play material that we've recorded on there with a group of our friends and co-creators, as they are also working on the Dungeoncast. Thank you guys. You can get exclusive merch. There's just a ton of stuff on there that you can get. So thank you so much. If you're a donor on Patreon, we really appreciate you. And to anybody that's considering it, I highly encourage you to if you can. If you can't, there are lots of other ways to support the show. One of them in particular is to do the like, subscribe, comment thing on YouTube, but to leave a podcast review. That would be awesome, especially on Apple Podcasts. Like we said like we typically say, it's like throwing sand into an Are You Afraid of the Dark fire. And it really lights up our lives, and we love seeing them, and it helps push the show to new listeners that might not know about it but would want to. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and I think we're ready to call it a game.
Let's call it a game. We'll talk to you guys later.
The Dungeoncast.